guys, I know it has been a while, but I am going to do an unboxing today. Yeah. This month has been very difficult. Literally today I just got back in town from my grandmother's funeral, so excuse me if my energy just sucks ass. I just feel like complete shit. So one thing that's come of that, if you couldn't tell from my last book haul, I stress buy books. I know I've said that before, so I'm just going to show you all what I've got this time around, and there is more coming, so there will be another haul. Okay, so firstly, this I am really happy about. This is the international edition of The Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, and look at that cover. This is really where I wanted it. This is actually, I saw this on Thoughts on Tomes' video before I even started BookTube, and this is what made me even want to read the series. Because I'm shallow, I like pretty covers. Like you can see I have the regular versions back there. But anyway, I love the international edition covers, and they're all shiny, and I am a shithead for shiny covers. And then the blurb on the back of the book is hilarious. So in the midst of all this like dark, smoky, gritty, like Prague background, it just says, "Wow, I wish I had written this book, Patrick Rothfuss." I thought it was hilarious. Of all the stuff they could have put back here, they put his little blurb. But yes. And this goes fabulously with this Fox and Wit bookmark that Leanna sent me because she is awesome. And then there was this card of this really pretty sentiment, and I almost cried because this month has been really hard. I don't know if she knew I needed that or not, but it was very sweet and I really appreciated it. But I mean, amongst the other stuff in there, there was also this, which goes fabulously with this book. And it says, "Once upon a time, an angel and a devil pressed their hands to their hearts and started the apocalypse." I believe it's from the first one, could be the first and second one, because I know there's one that's like an angel and a demon fell in love, and etc. But yes, this Fox and Wit bookmark that matches my awesome book. So these next three are actually mine that I got when I went home. So there is book 3 and 4 in the ElfQuest series, and they are graphic novels dated back to the 70s. These are not the originals. The originals are in color, and they're super old and super hard to find and probably dumb expensive by now. But these are like the reprints that they reprinted in black and white, and a friend of mine, her mom had them, and she introduced me to them when I was a kid, probably like 9 or 10. I've been obsessed ever since. These are actually going, characters in this are actually going into tattoos that I am getting here in October if I do not reschedule. So then there is Mouse by Art Spiegelman. This is actually also graphic novels, and there are 2 of them, 1 and 2, in this nifty little box. These were actually required reading. They are Holocaust. I'm going to take them out. The covers are the same as what's on the box. So that is the cover for book 1, and that is the cover for book 2, and it's basically like the story of the Holocaust, but it's told with animals. So like the Jewish are mice, and I think the Polish are pigs, the Germans are cats, and just every like race is assigned as an animal, and it plays off like the cat and mouse thing and stuff like that. And this story is very dark, especially because there are visuals to go along with the horrific shit they tell you about. So it's very dark, very heavy, very just like emotionally traumatizing. I don't know why they had us read this in school, but or did I read this in college? It might have been college. It was required reading, and I'm totally lying. I think it was college. Whatever. It was required reading. That otherwise I would have bought this because I have no desire to read about genocide. It just pisses me off. But I did keep it because it was a very good story. Like it was told. I like the way it was told. It's very creative. Is it in color? It is not in color. It's just like comic style, black and white. But I do like the way it was told, even though it's just like dark as shit. Then I have The Immortal Rules by Julie Kagawa. I found this in Chicago. It is a darkly thrilling dystopian about vampires. Yes. Our main character, I believe, is hiding from vampires, but she kind of has to make a choice, either become one or die because something happens to her, and I really don't know. but it's got that deco edges, and I'm really happy about that. This is one of those weirdo editions that like fold out, even though it's paperback. This is not the original, I think, but I like this cover better than the original because the original has a chick on the front. It just looks really weird. But yeah, so I found that in Chicago when I went for the funeral, as well as Interworld by Neil Gaiman and Michael Reeves. And this was actually in the kids section, and judging by the size of, I think this is YA. Is it illustrated? It is not illustrated. Yep, Joey Harker isn't a hero. In fact, he's the kind of guy who gets lost in his own house, but then one day he gets really lost. He walks straight out of his world and into another dimension. And like I said, I'm just basically anything with Neil Gaiman's name on it. If I don't have it, I've been picking up. Chainfire, The Pillars of Creation, Soul of the Fire, which are books in the Sword of Truth series. I also already have book 1 and book 8. They were, I believe there are 10 or 12 in total. They were recommended to me by Leanna. I found these in Chicago as well. Y'all, I had to fly back with all these books, but they were on clearance for $1. So I bought them. They go with Debt of Bones, which is like a little novella. It's a companion novella, I believe, because it said somewhere on here that it was set in... Yep, set in the world of Sword of Truth, but I think these are different characters other than the main two. There's just a little cutesy that I found at a thrift store here a while back for $1. Then there is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. It is a high fantasy. I'm really not sure what it is about, but I looked at the cover and I wanted it, and it's also got those edges of these books that I love. It's got like wizards and dragon sacrifice and some other odd stuff, but it's supposed to be very, very good. I've heard good stuff about her writing, so that makes 3 of her books that I own now that I haven't read yet. Okay. Then I was really excited to find this because was it April over at April Sarah who made me want this book? I don't know, regardless. Forbidden by Ted Dekker and Tosca Lee. This is an adult dystopian sci-fi. It basically, civilization has had a rebirth after the apocalypse, and it's like modern day. It's like modern day, but it's also like ancient times, like Roman times, but set to the future. Because basically, civilization had to start all the hell over. Then I also have found this in Chicago in a used bookstore. It is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas, because I have just finished book 3. I'm kind of stuck now, like I need to finish. I've invested into it this much. I have to know what happens. And then this one is also, where did it go, George? Signed. But I have to finish the series, so then I bought, while we were there, in Chicago as well, Tower of Dawn, which is book 6 or like 5.5 or what the hell ever. It is Kale's companion story, and this is the one with the artwork in it, and that's another reason I wanted it, because the back set of artwork, and I would recognize her style into it, is Charlie Bowaters art. So yeah, that I needed it at that point. So now I have all of them except for Assassin's Blade, which I've still been looking for because we have been buddy reading them. Leanna and Katie from Read or Write and I have been buddy reading them from like book 3 onward. And I need Assassin's Blade so we can go forth. Then I have, this is a Chunkers. So I recently, like literally a couple days ago, watched a video Sam did, and she mentioned this book, and I've also seen Sam from Thoughts on Tomes channel as well. Both Sams mentioned this book, or this author, and they talk about them a lot, and I keep seeing it. I was like, I'm going to actually commented on the other Sam's page. I was like, I'm going to go actually buy this book now. I've been hemming and hawing about it, but watching this video made me want it. And then like 2 days later, I found a bind up of the Inheritance trilogy, and I believe it's half-price books. So 3 full-length novels and a novella in the same world for $10. It is not bad, but I believe it is fantasy. Is it fantasy? I don't know if it's fantasy or sci-fi. Jesus, fix it. Then, 1,000 Nights by E.K. Johnston. I've seen another book of hers. I think it was Spindle something or other, and I was like, I like retellings, but I wasn't really. And then I was interested, per se. But then I saw this one, and I love Arabian Nights and 1,001 Nights, whichever tale you care to call them by, or whatever else. But it is a retelling, and this one's supposed to be a little darker than The Wrath and Dawn, and more like culturally, like, I don't know, it's supposed to be a little different. So I'm excited to read that, and the cover, I needed it. Super excited about this one. Leigh Bardugo's Wonder Woman Wallbringer. I am a nut about Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is probably, I don't know if she's a favorite. It's my 3 favorite superheroes are Wonder Woman, Superman, and Black Panther. I don't know if I like them all for different reasons, or if it's a tie. Like if I say one is my favorite, and then one is my favorite female, or my favorite this. But I just think all 3 are my favorite. So this one I pre-ordered. It is autographed, and it has the poster in the back. I'm super excited about. I have not read it. And then I also have Warcross by Marie Lu, which I picked up on my way home from the airport because I forgot it came out today. Been stupid excited to read it. It's a YA sci-fi about this girl that basically is like a bounty hunter inside of this virtual reality video game. Like, she hunts people who go into the game, I guess, and hide in the game or do other stuff. I'm not really sure. But something happens and she gets sucked into the game play and actually has to defend herself. She ends up being like one of the most viewed players for whatever reason, and then she gets offered a job. There's supposed to be a lot of cultural diversity, physical diversity, all kind of other stuff in this book. And Marie Lu is one of the authors who I keep picking up her stuff and buying it, but I haven't started reading them yet because her work is supposed to be fabulous. And she's also writing, I believe, the next book. And this one, which is the Batman one. I don't know if Batman's 2nd or 3rd, but Marie Lu is writing the Batman one for the DC Icons series. So, of course, I'm buying that. And this one sounds fabulous, and I really love that cover. So, that's that. And now I have books that are in boxes, darling. So then we have this one, which I already know what it is, because it's got a customs sticker on it. So that came from Waterstones, which I believe is to the UK, as Barnes & Noble is to the US. Oh man, I've been waiting for this book for a long time. So this is my UK special edition version of Wonder Woman by Leigh Bardugo. So it has a book plate on the inside. It is signed. They said it was a special edition and not just the UK cover. So I don't know if they're going to sell this one for too much longer. And I don't know if the UK is going to use this one. But I'm super excited to have both of these. And there's like a little Wonder Woman shrine thing back there that I've already prepped with all of my fucking Wonder Woman Funkos because I have a lot. Okay, so this was a pre-order as well. It got here just today. This one is A Night of Cake and Puppets. It is Zeus's story, kind of. Zeusa and what's his name? Malik. Oh crap, I can't remember his name. Meek. It is their little companion story, and I do have this on Kindle e-reader already. Kindle whatever. I bought it when I read Daughter of Smoke and Bone, but this one's coming out, and it is illustrated, and yeah, see, illustrated. Even look, the cover front and back is illustrated, and then inside hers and his. Oh gosh, this is awesome. Alright, so then effing finally we have this box, which has been missing basically for a month. They tried to deliver it. I had just moved, and they said they couldn't deliver it because the address was vacant. And I had it redirected, and they're like, okay, but they didn't send it back here, so I guess they just held it in the post office and didn't say anything. It just left it there, and I didn't know. And then when I was like, hey, where are my books? They're like, oh, we sent them back. And that was August 12th. And here it is September 12th, and they literally got here today. So, Book Outlet has been fabulous about sending them stuff back. The post office just had shit floating out in the ether. Still angry about it. Alright, first book right off the top. Yes, it is the illustrated version of the Game of Thrones, which, oh my god, look at that. Opened it right up to Daenerys and Khal Drogo, whom I love fabulously. I hadn't read the books yet. I was low-key like, I really just wanted the illustrated one first. I really did. And they also don't have that one on Book Outlet anymore, and anywhere else you want it, it's $50. So that's why I was super pissed about that box. I said, if you give my stuff back and they resell it or whatever, I'm gonna be hangry, because that would be like, I bought it for 10 or 15. I'd have to get it again for 50. I'd be angry. Yeah. So this one, Vasa in the Night, which reading summary, it sounded kind of like Cinderella-ish, but is actually a modern day retelling of a Russian fairy tale. Vasilisa the Beautiful. I saw Victoria do a review of this, and that is what made me go and buy it. Then there's Shifting Shadows, which I believe is a bunch of short stories from Mercy Thompson's world. This is about Patricia Briggs, which, if you haven't seen me talk about the Mercy Thompson werewolf series yet, you need to go read that. That's awesome. But this is a series of short stories that take place in that world. I didn't order this. Okay, that's odd. So this is Portrait of Vengeance. It is by Carrie Stewart Parks. It is a Gwen Marcy novel. Rich characters, a forensic artist's eye for detail, and plot twists. An unsolved case, a tempest of memories. The future's at stake and time is running out. I didn't order this. I don't know where this came from, but okay, I guess I got a free book, guys. Then we have Sheba, Rise of a Queen, which is by Tosca Lee. It is basically a story of the Queen of Sheba. Her name is legend. Her story, the epic of nations, the Queen of Sheba. Another one that they are no longer selling on Book Outlet. Sold out fairly quickly, and I was super hecked off, like, where's my shit? Then we have The Crown's Game by Evelyn Scott, which is a Russian fantasy YA. It's supposed to be really good, and the audiobook is read by Steve West, who did Ember in the Ashes and Strange the Dreamer, and I love him. And I think Fiona Hardingham is the female part of the narration, who was Leia in Ember in the Ashes, and her narration is also fabulous. So now I low-key don't know if I want to read the book or listen to the audiobook. Then there is The Girl at Midnight, which is a YA fantasy. This is by Melissa Gray. If you would like a review of this book, check out Leanna's channel. Leanna read this book in her month of lavender lit for lupus. Yeah, I think I didn't mess that up. She read Purple Books last month for lupus. You should go check that out. But she read and reviewed this one, and Katie also read and reviewed this one, as well as she did a very cool, interesting way of reviewing the book, where as she talked about it, she drew out a bookmark, and you had to watch her it was cool. You should go check it out. I will link both of those down below. Then there is Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton, which is, it's not really a retelling, but it's kind of half Western, but it takes place in an Arabian Nights kind of a setting. I don't know. It's like a mix of Agrabah and the Wild West. There's shootout. She's like a sharpshooter, the main character in this book. Yeah, so they're mythical beasts. There's still Jinn. And then our main character, Amani, is a gifted gunslinger. I didn't read I've been waiting on this book. This book has been in and out of my shopping cart for a very long time. And this one I'm really, really interested to read. Ivory and Bone by Julie Eshball. This book takes place in Paleolithic, Neolithic. I can't keep them straight. I'm gonna ruin it. But basically it takes place in Neanderthal times. Basically the characters are Neanderthals. It's Meet the Crudes, but not so childish. If that makes sense. And the way that it's told. Okay, my camera died. But at any rate, so the way that this book is told, Cole is the main male character, and it's told from his point of view, but as if you, the reader, are Maya, the love interest. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I hadn't seen that before. I thought it was pretty neat. Fourth wall breaking kind of a deal, but there's a third wall, whatever. I thought it was interesting, but there's a clan war and some other things and the romance, and yeah. I thought that sounded interesting. I'm really shitty at summaries, but I don't read them before I buy the book, so. I also bought this on release day, which is God's Grave. I bought this actually the day before I left for the airport, or the day of, I don't know, whatever day it came out, I bought it. And I wanted this edition because, once again, on the inside of the cover, it has the artwork. And this, I believe, is artwork by the gentleman who did the fantabulous, gorgeous artwork for the cover. This is probably the only book that I own, well, the only one I can think of at the moment, where I like the US edition better than the UK one. Yeah, let's take this Barnes & Noble sticker. I hate stickers. So, yeah, that wraps up this haul, guys. Thank you for watching. I will catch you later. Bye.